Animism. Anito. Ancient Filipinos were animistic. Animism was widely practiced in the pre-colonial Philippines. Animism is associated with the belief in innumerable spiritual beings concerned with human affairs and capable of helping or harming human interest. If you believe in animism, you believe that animals, rocks, mountains, and thunder are all spiritual beings. Some worship specific deities, such as the Tagalog supreme deity, Bathala, and his children, Adlaw, Mayari, and Tala, or the Visayan deity, Kanlaon. These practices coincided with ancestor worship. Ancient Filipinos believed that upon death, the free soul, which is also known as Kalag, travels to a spirit world, usually by voyaging across an ocean on a boat. Spirits that have never been human are differentiated in some ethnic groups as Diwata. Also, during the pre-Hispanic period, Babaylan were shamans and spiritual leaders, and Mananambal were medicine men.
Buddhism and Hinduism. There are some growth in the religion as of late, although most temples cater to the same communities. Actual adherents of Hinduism and Buddhism are most limited to communities that include indigenous and native peoples, expatriate communities, as well as new converts. The earliest pieces of evidence that exist are archaeological finds including Hindu-Buddhist gold statues. The earliest written evidence comes from the Laguna Corpulate inscription, dated to around 900 CE, which uses the Buddhist Hindu lunar calendar. Hindu-based practices like yoga and meditation are also popular, while Buddhism is instead practiced as a tradition on top of Theravada or Mahayana Buddhism. Ritual practice rather than meditation is the distinguished mark of Vajrayana.
In the 14th century, Islam reached the Philippines. Islam is the first recorded monotheistic religion in the Philippines. With the arrival of Islam, the older religions gradually disappeared. The first Muslims to arrive were traders followed by missionaries in the late 14th and 15th centuries. They are the Muslim traders from the Persian Gulf, southern India, and their followers from several sultanate governments in the Malay archipelago. They facilitate the formation of sultanates and conquests in Mindanao and Sulu. Islam believes in God and His Prophet and obligation of prayer, charity, pilgrimage, and fasting. The fundamental concept of Islam is the Sharia, its law, which embraces the total way of life commanded by God. The month of Ramadan is set aside for fasting. Alcohol and pork are forbidden, as are gambling, usury, fraud, slander, and making of image. In addition to Eid al-Fitr, which celebrates breaking of the fast of Ramadan, Muslims celebrates Muhammad's birthday and his ascension into heaven. Eid al-Adha inaugurates the season of pilgrimage to Mecca. As of now, they are 6.1% of the Philippines' total population. Islam is the largest religion in the Mindanao based on the result of the 2015 census of population.
After the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan in 1521, Christianity, specifically Roman Catholicism, became the dominant religion, beginning in the early 16th century in Cebu, compared to the Spanish colonial period when Christianity was recognized as a state religion. Faith today is practiced in the context of a secular state. Catholicism is a faith that revolves around the seven sacraments: baptism, reconciliation, Eucharist, confirmation, marriage, holy orders or joining the priesthood, and the sacrament of the sick. Catholic holy days such as Christmas and Good Friday are observed as national holidays, with local saints' days being observed as holidays in different towns and cities. The Hispanic-influenced custom of holding fiestas in honor of patron saints has become an integral part of Filipino culture, as it allows for communal celebration while serving as a time marker for the year. A nationwide fiesta occurs on the third Sunday of January, on the country-specific feast of the Santo Niño de Cebu. The largest celebrations are the Sinulog Festival in Cebu City, the Ati-Atihan in Calibo, Aklan, and the Dinagyang in Iloilo City, which is instead held on the fourth Sunday of January. Furthermore, the Philippines proudly boasts to be the only Christian nation in Asia. More than 86% of the population is Roman Catholic.
In 1898, after the United States took control of the Philippines from Spain, first with United States Army chaplains and then within months civilian missionaries, Protestant denominations arrived in the Philippines. The justifications for colonizing were to Christianize and democratize. The feeling was that these goals could be achieved only through mass education. Most of the teachers who went to the Philippines were Protestants. Many were even Protestant ministers. There was a strong prejudice among some of these teachers against Catholics. Since this, Protestant group instituted and controlled the system of public education in the Philippines during the American colonial period. It exerted a strong influence. Subsequently, the balance has shifted to reflect a much stronger influence of the Catholic majority. In the latest report conducted by the Philippine Statistics Authority in October 2015, 80.58% of the total Philippine population were Catholics, 10.8% were Protestants, and 5.57% were Muslims.
Iglesia ni Cristo is an independent, non-Rituarian Christian church, founded in 1913 and registered by Felix Y. Manalo in 1914 as a universal religious corporation to the United States administration of the Philippines. From its first local congregation in Punta Santa Ana, Manila, the church quickly spread not only throughout the metropolis, but also to the neighboring provinces in Luzon and across the islands of Visayas and Mindanao. In 1968, the church led by Brother Iranio G. Manalo, the executive minister, then successively established the first two local congregations outside the Philippines, Honolulu, Hawaii, and San Francisco, California in the USA. Thus began the church expansion in the far west and eventually around the world. INC describes itself to be the one true church and the restoration of the original church founded by Jesus, whereby all other Christian churches are apostate. They believe that God is against eating blood as food, live-in relationships, interfaith marriage, homosexual unions, same-sex marriage, divorce, annulment, legal separation, extramarital affairs, excessive drinking of liquors, and taking of drugs. As of now, the Philippines comprises roughly 2.6% population of Iglesia ni Cristo members.